stations are tuned in to.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Louis Michelson at Business Talk Radio, and we have a wonderful guest speaker on today from Boulder, Colorado. She's Amy Satori. How we doing, Amy?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. Thanks.
All right. We got our first caller on the line. What's your name?
All right.
Where are you from? Hello?
Hello?
Is that you, Amy? We lost him already?
Oh, they'll come back.
Yeah,
Sure.
Oh, well. It's the same guy's been calling since 2 o'clock.
Call back.
What do you do? So, all right.
Yeah, if they've been calling for an hour and a half, then they're just going to call back any minute.
He's back. Hello. What's your name and where you from?
Hi, my name is Andrea, and
You got to speak a little bit more into the speaker.
My name is Andrea, and I'm from Boulder.
Hey, Andrea.
Amy told me to call in today. Hi.
I did. Okay. So, tell me what I can help you with.
Well, I think on Thursday, was it? Or, yeah, I came in and talked to you for a little bit, but we kept running out of time. And I guess I was hoping to get that body scan, and was just kind of curious what you can figure out, or what tips you have to help me out.
Oh, you were the one that I gave a bunch of homework to.
Yes.
Yeah?
And I've been listening. I'm not quite sure what your little chant or mantra says, but I've been listening to that every day.
Oh, good. Yay. Have you listened to any of the other resources yet?
Not yet. I started to look up some, but I haven't gotten into it yet.
Okay.
I kind of dedicated this afternoon to it.
Yeah, yay, good. So for those of you who are listening and don't know what she means by a body scan, one of the things that I can do, sometimes if a lot of people get drawn to me and they don't know why, they just feel really pushed, like they got to go, like she did. And sometimes you don't know any questions to ask, or don't even know, you're just like, So I have the ability to actually like kind of like a scanning, like any kind of scanner. I start with the top of your body, and I just scan down, and I look for emotional. Usually I see like colors and shapes and all kinds of things that detect kind of blockages in your life in all kinds of different areas. And any pain or suffering in any area of your life is usually caused by like energy. It's usually caused by thought about something, or a repetitive pattern, or something that you, like a false belief system, or any of that kind of stuff. So I can detect those things and help you work on them or remove them. Or didn't we have a past life we worked on too? I don't recall.
You mentioned I don't know if it was, you didn't mention anything about a past life, but maybe a dual life or different dimension kind of thing. You said that my ex that I just broke up with axed me in the back.
Oh, geez. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
I don't know if that was a past life or a parallel life that you were talking about or whatnot, but
well, that's kind of
having a lot of back pain in that area.
How's it feeling now?
Better. There's a couple times that I sit in my car and it comes back bad, and I just try to sit there and think about it and say it's over with or it's out. And
okay.
Just try to get that area to relax. But for the most part, that area hasn't been hurting as much.
Oh, good. Okay. So sometimes with these issues, they're compounded through like many different past lives. So sometimes there are different layers to it, and you have to keep going through the different layers to remove it completely. But I just feel like we should look at that again. So let me just go back in there and just see if there's something left for you to work on. Yes, it feels like what it kind of turned into, generally speaking, is people not having your back in general, like everybody not having your back, or just that feeling of like being unsupported, and any minute you might have to spin around and kind of defend yourself because nobody has your back. So
I've my life lately.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, and it's really funny because most people just walk around out there with their beliefs, just believing whatever comes through their heads, and they have no idea that it's actually something like this that stems from something that happened in a past life, that all you need is some energy work to remove it, and some just bringing your consciousness to it and being aware of it can just release it. So let me do a blessing for it and see what I get with that. Hang on just a minute. Himoki tsila nate he kachinta se sisihu umomoki nate ilakinate siskichi insase ho pupu mama e anate te ilakita se. Okay, so they were talking about like you having endless resources, like believing you have endless resources, and that, if I ever need help, all I need to do is, ask for help and it will come in the droves, So one of the things that one of the affirmations that you can say is, I am so completely loved and supported in all ways and always. And that is something that you could repeat.
Were you saying that they said I do have a lot of resources, or I think I have a lot of resources? Because part of my panic is that with my illness and everything, is that I don't have resources.
Exactly. So when I do the light language, they tell me what will fix it. So repeating affirmations like the one I just said, I am so completely loved and I am so completely loved and supported in all ways and always, will remove that. But the key to affirmations is that you really believe whatever you're saying. So that's going to be difficult for you. But at first what you do is you pick moments where it actually happens. Like say your back's really hurting, or which hopefully it won't be anymore, but let's say something happens to you and somebody comes over and they bring you soup, or you're sick and they bring you soup or something sweet. So something like that happens, you can say, oh my gosh, I am so completely loved and supported in all ways and always. So you affirm it at the times when you actually believe it for a moment, but you got to remember to do that. And if you could actually kind of pretend in a way and just sit and meditate on it as if you do believe that, even though you don't. If you can kind of feel what it would feel like to be a person who does actually believe that they're supported like that, you can convince your brain to actually believe it. And if you do believe it, then it becomes your belief. You know what I mean? It's like everything is a placebo, and our thoughts are not our own. So we can actually our brains are pretty manipulatable. So all we have to do is entertain something else being a possibility that we could believe, and then all of a sudden we believe it. Sometimes it takes a really long time because we're working against a belief that's built up over a long period of time. And so we're pretty sure that that's the belief, because it seems to be happening over and over and over. Yeah?
I'm estranged from my parents and haven't spoken to them, and they don't really care about anything or the disease we're in. So that's probably where a lot of that stems from. And it's hard to think that when you don't even have any family.
Yeah, well, yeah. But really, when you really get down to it, when you get to the heart of the matter, is we are really the only ones who will ever love us completely anyway. It's like, there will be other people that will come in and out of your life and try to love you and love you the best that they can, but everybody is flawed. Everybody has their issues. Everybody gets triggered. Everybody, is ultimately doing the best that they can with how much they are really looking out for themselves. So it's like your parents did the best that they could, but they will never be able to fulfill you like you could. So that's where we have to kind of step in for ourselves and say, I'm not even gonna, like, who cares if anybody else is there for me? I have to be there for me. And I'm all that really matters anyway, because other people caring for me can then manipulate me too. You know, people who come in and act like they're your friend and act like they're there for you and everything could very well turn on you and manipulate you through that because you're so hungry for it. You know, somebody comes in and they're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
exactly.
a narcissistic abusive relationship I just got out of.
Exactly, and you're so hungry for it that you're like, gimme, 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 and they fake it and they just give it to you. Sure, okay. And then there you go, and then you get hurt all over again, and then it just deepens your belief in nobody ever having really been there for you in the first place anyway. So if you can just cut through all of that, if you could just, you know, drop all of it, just forget anybody ever really being there for you, and then just be, you know, just be like, I'm going to be there for me because I'm really the only one I can really rely on because that's stuck with me for the rest of my life. I can't go anywhere. And either it's going to be a miserable, suffering experience, or I'm going to make it the best damn experience I can because I'm all I got, you know? So when you can take ownership of that and you quit trying to wait for somebody else to do that for you, then that's when you become really empowered, and that's when, you know, that you just get strong. You just get strong, and it's not even like, you know, I could hear some people saying, well, you know, you should let other people help you, or you should like, yeah, that's fine. Just don't rely on it or expect it. Don't let your happiness be dictated by anybody else's actions, whether they're giving to you or they're not giving to you. You give you what you need, and if they give you extra, that's freaking awesome. But don't sit there and demand extra then. And sit there and say, oh, well, you gave me extra, so keep giving me extra, or I'm going to throw a tantrum, or I'm going to get mad, you know?
Yeah, I used to be completely independent, self-sufficient. Like, all I needed was myself. And then after some of the injuries and this disease came up and everything, I was like, I can't do everything myself anymore, so I have to ask for help. And I've been trying to learn to do that. But I guess I've kind of fallen to a point where I rely on others too much or need it too much from others because I can't seem to do as much for myself as I used to. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. So your body kind of feels a little wayward too, in the sense that it's like, Mama, I don't know what to do, because there's a part of me reaching out for help and there's a part of me saying that I'm just sitting here suffering. So it's like you need to realize that your body is kind of like your baby. Your body is like a little 2-year-old. Your body is like your baby. So you've got to tell your body what to think and what to do, and you need to tell your body to be healthy. So your body is listening to you like a little kid that's absorbing all that information, and you know how they are. They start walking around and talking, and pretty soon they're telling you like it is. They're repeating everything back to you that you're hypocritical about, you know. And you're just like, Mom, you shouldn't be lying. You know, you always say to do this and that, and you're like, grr, you know, you weren't supposed to have heard that. You weren't supposed to be putting it back in my face. But your body is listening to everything that you're saying. So if you're thinking disempowering things, if you're thinking, oh man, my body hurts so bad, and when am I ever going to get better? Nobody wants to help me. All of that stuff. Your body is totally listening, and it's doing as you say. You know, it actually does work that way. We don't realize how much power we have in our minds, but it's very true. And then the minute you start noticing your thoughts and you start correcting your thoughts and you start, like I think I told you, like sometimes my knee hurts and I'll just go up the stairs. And I'll just be like, oh, man, look at you. You are just like a badass knee. Look at you. You're all flexible and fluid flying up these stairs. You know, I'll just be like really give my knee a pep talk, and the pain is gone. You know, I'll be like, gosh, you are so awesome. Look at you've gone through so much stuff, but look at you. So, you know, that our bodies need a pep talk too sometimes. But also, like, energetically, you need to be, you know, filling yourself up with energy, because the physical symptoms that we have are commonly a blockage. It's too much energy. It's like too much energy that's like stale and stagnant, stuck in a certain area. So you need to be doing something like Qigong or Tai Chi, so you've got energy kind of flushing it out all the time. It's like energy coming in and going out and coming in and going out. And when you get that kind of flow going on in your life, even energetically, it'll start bringing more money in, more resources, more people to help. And it's just like you start to trust life more because there's this constant flow of replenishment going on. You know what I mean? So your body can kind of relax. Oh, if I miss this boat, there's going to be another boat that comes in. Oh, if I miss that somebody given to me, then another somebody given to me is coming in. Oh, if I miss that money opportunity, another is going to be coming in. Oh, if I have this pain right now, it may be gone tomorrow. It's just like constantly feeding you with an energy of there's still another opportunity to come. There's still more to come. So I think I gave you a Qigong exercise to do. Yeah?
I don't, you mentioned Qigong. I don't know about an actual exercise.
Okay.
Vimeo Chi Center?
Yep. Vimeo.com /
exercise?
Yeah, / Chi Center, CHI Center. If you go there, there's a video called With the Master. His name is Ming Tong Gu, and he's wearing yellow. Watch that video. There's an exercise he does like in the middle of the video that is very, very beneficial to the body.
Okay. Do
you
think any of this stuff will help? Like the disease that I have, like just suck the energy and life out of me. Do you think it'll work with that being a factor?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you've been running around living your life, depleting yourself completely and exhausting yourself, but not replenishing, not charging your battery back up. You're like a pot on the stove that's just burning. So if you do the exercise, I would say, at the beginning, 3 to 5 times a day. I knew a guy, I literally, actually know a guy who couldn't walk. I think it was nerve damage or I don't know, something was severed even. Like some kind of nerve was severed or something, and he wasn't going to walk again. And he started to do Qigong, and he couldn't even do the exercise because all he can do is sit. He can't even stand. But he imagined, again, the power of your mind, because your body will believe whatever you're thinking. So he pretended that he could stand, and he pictured and visualized himself actually doing the exercise without actually having done it. And within about 3 months, doing it, repeatedly throughout the day, like 3 to 5 times a day he tried, and he would just visualize it and visualize it and visualize it over and over. In about 3 months, he was able to get up out of that chair. And then he was able to do the exercise on his own, actually stand there and do it. And then I think it took about 5 months for him to be completely, for him to start walking again. So that's the power of the mind. And that's the power of Qi. So if you're feeling worn out, exhausted, have any kind of ache or pain or any kind of ailment, pouring Qi through it is definitely going to improve it. And if, practice regularly on a regular basis for anything takes 2-3 months of steady habit before it'll really make a substantial difference. A lot of things, let's just say a lot of things. There are some things that happen real fast, but it all depends on the power of your mind. Because just like in the Bible,
I try to do the visualization thing, and I suck so much of it. It's always, when I try to visualize positive things or successful things, I end up screwing up or thinking negatively, or I try to do it in gymnastics, and I would try to, visualize landing a trick properly and sticking it, and instead I would just over-rotate every time or something, and I couldn't even change.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Well, a lot of...
If you're visualizing, you're supposed to be able to control that and do that right.
Well, sometimes it's like a subconscious self-sabotage where we actually want to fail because we want to be the victim and we want people to feel sorry for us, or we want to act like, oh my gosh, it's just hopeless. I can't even do it in my mind, for crying out loud, So, and we don't even know that that's going on because it's like I've seen people who are like, oh, heal me, please heal me. And then they'll feel better for like a day, and then they'll go back to hurting and stuff. And it's not that they didn't have proper healing. It's that they like being a victim. There's something they're getting out of it. There's something, maybe because people feel sorry for them, they give them cheaper rent. Or maybe, they get attention from certain people, or what you got to like search within yourself to see what it is you're getting out of it. But it's like purposely visualizing.
I was like, I want to succeed at this. I want to do it right. Why can't I think of it right in my head?
Well, then maybe that was it. Maybe you just love beating yourself up. Maybe you just love the self-punishment or feel like you deserve it because somebody told you when you were growing up that you don't deserve it or something. Or maybe, like for me, I have a handicapped mom. So sometimes the thought of having this really ridiculously incredible life makes me feel bad. I'm like, who am I to have that when my mom was handicapped? But unless I was self-aware enough to realize that and see it, then I would be just like you. Oh, I suck at this. I can't do this. What am I thinking? When actually underneath it was this other thing. So really the key is becoming more self-aware. Because when you're self-aware, like how I am now, I won't sabotage myself. I do believe in myself, and I do believe I can be ridiculously happy. But it's because I am aware that there is that mechanism there, and I catch it, and I see it, and I say, what am I doing? That's ridiculous for me not to live my happiest life just because my mom couldn't or didn't. What does one thing have to do with the other? My mom would be like really, really happy for me on the other side. So it's really just about becoming more self-aware. And one thing that you can do to do that is do Byron Katie's work. She has a self-inquiry process that's really basic, really simple. Here's what you need to do, though. Okay, so take that and go home and write. Well, I don't know if you're home or not, but do the exercise that I talk about a lot. The thank you, God, for my misery. Thank you, God, that I have always self-sabotage myself. That I can't seem to do my visualizations right, or whatever you want to write down, and then write down the 10 to 15 advantages or benefits as to why that's a really good thing. That in itself is going to help you start being more aware. And do it on everything that you feel like you're not doing right.
That's funny because you mentioned that the other day, and I thought about a few things in my head, and I could think about positive outcomes or things, that I've learned and grown from on those unfortunate events. But self-sabotage is one. I can't think of any perks that come out of that.
Yeah, well, there are lots of them, but that's why you have to write it down with paper and a pen. And you don't allow yourself to get up from the table until you come up with 10 to 15. So, so let's come up with some. Because a lot of people self-sabotage, right? Why is it a good thing when you self-sabotage? Well, it makes you continue to go through pain and suffering until you finally are fed up and can't take it anymore. It's like that until you can't take it anymore. It just keeps pushing you into more and more misery, right?
Yeah. Until
finally you'll do something about it. So, that's the whole design of pain. Our higher self puts us through physical pain even. It makes us so uncomfortable that we finally actually do something about it. So that's what pain is for.
That's when people grow the most.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another benefit to self-sabotage. Sometimes it gives things more time than is needed. Sometimes while you're self-sabotaging, acting like a victim and whatever else, you're allowing something else to kind of cultivate and take more time. You've planted seeds in your garden, for example, and you keep self-sabotaging, keeping yourself stuck, and then you look out, all of a sudden your garden's really big, because you wasted all this time. But really, it's like behind the scenes, something else was growing underneath it that became big and strong and everything because you kept self-sabotaging. I mean, you have to look at each situation differently. Self-sabotaging, sometimes if you're like some goody two-shoes who always does everything right, and your family's like, damn, the star pupil, the person who's always, the star of the family, who does everything perfectly, when you self-sabotage and kind of screw yourself over, they're like, oh, thank God. She does do something wrong. She does have issues. She does have problems, So it makes them feel better, right? You're not so perfect, Little Miss Perfect all the time. Another good reason for you to self-sabotage or, for, past self-sabotaging. Can you think of any? Like, when has it been a good thing? When has that worked out in your favor?
What you just said resonated a little bit. When I got divorced, I was really screwing up a lot, but I learned, I guess, from all of that to be more compassionate for others and how others can screw up by accident even when they're trying really hard.
Yes, perfect. Exactly. Sometimes we have to screw up and screw up and screw up and beat ourselves up and be the Eeyore over and over and over and think of those defeating thoughts until all of a sudden you get this bright idea. I could think something different. Huh. If I thought something different, maybe I could do something different. Huh.
You got to start wrapping this up.
Oh, I was just going to ask you how we were doing on time. Yeah, we're at the end of the show. All right, Louie, take it. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's leaving? Thank you very much for calling in. Have a wonderful day and good luck.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right. That was a long phone call.
You can interrupt anytime.
No, I don't want to do that. I mean, you're doing your thing, and she's receiving it all. As long as you don't mind, I don't mind.
All right.
All right. So this is Louis Michelson at Business Talk Radio. We have been talking to the wonderful, and if you were listening, you could see how wonderful, Amy Satori. She can help you. She can do things for you. You can get in touch with her at www.amysatori.com. Please give her a call. Go to her YouTube show right after this. It's live. She will give you a free question if you donate $11.
I do general questions for free, or I answer a personal question for $11 on live on YouTube.
You can't beat
Join me over there.
Run over there. Get on YouTube. I got a couple of more shows to do. Can't do that. All right, everybody. Don't leave us. We will be right back. Bye-bye, Amy. We'll talk to you next week, and I'll talk to you in a minute or so.
All right. Bye, Louis.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Great job as usual.